Hi, thank you for watching a new video blog. Today from Almaty, Kazakhstan. And behind me is the University of Almaty, the Caspian University. So also in Kazakhstan, people believe that going to a university will bring you success in life, will bring you wealth and can help you realize the dreams that you have. And to me that's a giant mistake. I see universities as very useless. One of the most useless things that you can do in your young life. First of all, from my perspective, I am somebody that prefers to live natural, independent, self-sustaining, off-grid, in nature, traditionally, nomadic, tribalistic. So a university is 100% the opposite of what I want to achieve in life and what I've always wanted to achieve in life. But also I got, of course, indoctrinated that a university is the highest achievable in life. If you go to university, all your dreams will come true. You will have no financial worries anymore. You will get the best job that you can dream of. Though I hardly know anybody that will say that yes, the university was the place where I developed my talents, where I learned really helpful skills for the rest of my life. The university was the place that made me happy, that brought me wealth. I challenge you to find somebody that will talk like that. A person that will say, yes, I have to thank everything that I own or have managed to achieve in my life. I thank that to the university and their professors and their science and all their, lecturers and all their great support that they did to me over the years to become a successful person. You really don't hear a lot of people talking like that. I have never heard somebody talk like that in any case. So yeah, to me it's quite odd that still this has such a high status. When I was in high school it was like, oh, if you don't go to university, you're a loser. You will not achieve anything. You will be stuck to be worker and manual worker or something, and yeah, you're basically over. You have low status. University is the place where money will be made once you get your degree, and you will get all the success. You will get a beautiful woman, or for the girls a beautiful man, beautiful husband, and you will be laughing through life and feel like a king. Yeah, well, everybody that I know that went to college or university, they are doing something totally different than what they're supposed to become. None of them are financially free or doing very well. They all live paycheck to paycheck. Very uninteresting pay. They work a lot of hours and they have a lot of responsibility as well. Because that's the whole thing. If you go to university, they prepare you to take on a lot of responsibilities. That's it. They instruct you how to deal with responsibilities, so that the ones above you don't have to deal with that. So that they can put all the responsibility on you. So for example, when you're a doctor, you are just like the lowest on the ranking. Because above you are pharmaceutical companies and their staff and the stockholders, and you're just there to make the revenue, and you get the responsibility because you have to diagnose these people. You are the one that people trust. So you have, as university graduates, you have the responsibility, and you don't have millions of dollars or euros in your bank to, support yourself when something goes wrong. You have to take on the responsibility. if you misdiagnose somebody, you are at fault. The pharmaceutical companies, yeah, they have billions, I must say. They don't care. They have very little responsibility. They leave it all to the scientists and to the doctors, all these people that studied in university. They take their hands off from any responsibility. They will say, oh, you know, it's not, we're not there. And they leave it on to the little guy that went to college. That's in enormous depth. Yeah, that's basically what university is. You get educated to become like the lowest in the ranking, the one that will take the responsibility. Just like a policeman. You know, police officers, I respect police officers, by the way. They've been helpful to me very often, but they are just the lowest in the ranking. They have to deal with the worst. They sometimes get into, you know, physical fights. They get abuse from many people. They have to do the dirty job. Yeah, like I say, I want to get rid of being in the slave system, and I partly already am. But if I have to deal in the slave system with the police, they're mostly the people that I respect, because they have to take on all the responsibilities. They have to deal with all the worst part of the whole job, basically. And the same goes for doctors, and the same goes for lawyers, and all these things. They are basically doing the work for the big companies. If you dream about being a university graduate, know that you are like being educated how to deal with responsibilities. And not to get wealthy or successful or to live your dreams. No, you're there to pick up the problems, deal with the problems, carry the responsibility of them. The same goes for an engineer. When you're engineering and you get a job at a company, you're the one that basically knows everything, but also that is getting the responsibility and the stress with the job. You're not there to be a leader or make your dreams come true. No, you're there to do the dirty job. That is what a university graduate is. Because if you want to be in the top, if you want to be like on the board of the pharmaceuticals or of the like the engineering companies or whatever, it's not, a university degree will bring you nothing. You have to have connections. It's all this little group of people that know each other, and they pass on jobs, and they basically don't know a lot, but they know how to do politics. That's not something you will learn in university. So most of university students dream of becoming like that board member, like important in a company, like a CEO of a company, but it's not going to happen with a university degree. No, you're just a simple worker. You will be a simple worker that gets all the stress, all the responsibilities. You have to figure everything out. You have to do everything for the guys on top, and you get kicked when you're not doing it, and they can kick you just out when you're not functioning to according to them. Or when you start to ask questions, they just remove you. That simple. It's not really, in my opinion, worth to stress yourself for a university degree, because what you want in life, and that's not really only my opinion, it's also what I just believe that is true, is that everybody wants to live freely in nature, with a large family, supportive of each other, loving each other, taking care of each other, close to nature, with some animals, live off the animals, off their delicious milk and their eggs and their meat, and just be free. No responsibilities besides your animals, but that's not very hard. They're very simple beings. They will listen to you as long as you feed them and take care of them. Don't abuse them. Be good to animals always. That's very important. And that's it. You don't have stress. You don't want stress in your life. You don't want a mortgage. You want to live somewhere, you know, for free. And it's possible. As a nomad, you can live for free, or for very little, if you know this game. And that's what you want. That's what every human desires. Nobody desires to be up until their neck into stress and responsibilities from others. And they are laughing, they're making the money, they're using you with your university degree. And you have been already jumping through all the hoops just to get there. And then they know, oh, this is a good slave worker that they don't care about and can replace. Because that's another thing about universities. There's so many students every year graduating. Do you really think they or you? Do you really think that you are the exception that will become, oh, I will become this board member and I will become the CEO and I will become the one in charge and making millions and millions every year? Yeah, of course not. Look around in your class. Look around in university, all these desperate human beings that wants to be something, somebody, make money, dream of wealth, become a board member. No, it's not for you. These are already selected. And I know because I've been to college and I've seen how it works. I've seen that children from influential families, they go to jobs that you and I will never get because they know people and they play a game where they hand out jobs. And I for example, if I would graduate in this particular field, economics, I studied 1 year of economics, marketing economics, and this guy and me will get the same paper, but I will be working somewhere in a coffee shop doing flyers or something, marketing flyers, and he is now managing property, gigantic properties around The Hague. So both same education, maybe I'm even would, because I changed to being a teacher, so I did it for 1 year, but probably my marks will be better than his, but it doesn't matter, you know, it's university just, it's not really anything. So yeah, unfortunately also in Kazakhstan, Almaty, they have the Caspian University. Kazakh people, you know, realize that this is not it. Please, Kazakh people, go back to your roots, buy horses, become nomadic, go through Kazakhstan with your horses and drink the milk, the raw milk, have your yurts again and be strong and happy. It's possible in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is still very empty. All the space that you want, you can have with your tribe. Go around, live happily, no mortgages, no universities. Come on, be smart, be real smart. This really is not a place where gold is be found and where good life is being created. It's totally the opposite. So take that in mind when you want to study or are from Kazakhstan. And better to leave Almaty and go back to your roots. Find a few horses, build a yurt and live freely. So that was it for today from Almaty, Kazakhstan. As I thank you for watching, see you next time.